There's a great food scene in like Water for Chocolate where they make Chiles in Nogado. Everyone's overcome with passion after eating these, so that's sort of my inspiration, and I'm not quite sure I got the same result. But the thing about chuck is there's a lot of connective tissue in it, and that's what takes a good 3 hours for that all to break down. And if you run across big pockets of fat, you can trim out some of it. Some of it also is going to break down during the cooking process, and you can skim it off then. But don't get too wrapped up in trying to get every little piece of fat, because you'll just wind up throwing away too much meat as well. Place your meat in there. Don't try and get all the meat in one time. If you do, you're going to create a lot of steam in the pan. You're going to lower the temperature of the pan. Things aren't going to sear. One of the things that really contributes a lot of flavor is that caramelization of the meat and that brown glaze that forms on the bottom of the pan. So you really want to give the meat plenty of room so it's not spaced too closely together, and also give it enough time so that there creates a little bit of a seal or a little bit of caramelization on the bottom of the pan. If as soon as it goes into the pan, you start tossing it around right away, that never has an opportunity to happen, and it just means that the flavor of your braise isn't going to be as intense or have as much depth to it. After you sear off all the meat, you can see how you've got that nice brown glaze on the bottom. This is sort of the base of any braised dish, or any sauce really. It's going to contribute a lot of flavor to it. The moisture just from the onions and the apple really is going to help to release that brown glaze that was sticking there. Whenever you're braising something, you want to cover the meat so that it stays nice and moist, but not so much that there's a lot of liquid in there, which is going to dilute the flavor up. Beef should just be sort of lightly coated with tomato sauce. You don't want it swimming in broth. It's just going to be diluted in flavor. You want your juices to be rather intense. Again, tight-fitting lid. It's come to a boil. Reduce it down. You want it to be at your lowest simmer. This is where you want to burn something. Some of us are naturally more inclined at this than others, but you want to char these so that we burn the skin off. You want to turn the burner up as high as you can, get it really nice and hot, and you're going to blacken the outside of it. Give them an opportunity to steam a little bit, and also they're cool enough to handle. And then you want to scrape off this outside skin. Paring knife probably is the easiest way to do it, and usually do it over the sink. You can do this under cold running water, but I try not to. I know this takes longer, but when you do that, I think a lot of flavor actually goes down the drain. And you want to be somewhat gentle while you're doing it so that they don't fall apart, because remember, you want to be able to stuff these with the beef mixture. Make a cut down one side, reach inside, and then you want to get rid of all these seeds. Any chili that's spicy, a lot of the heat is concentrated in the seeds, also the veins that run down along the side. So if you can take those out, it's not going to be nearly as hot. We want the nice flavor of the chili, but not a lot of heat. You don't want to use wine just to try and quench your thirst. You want to be able to enjoy the nice flavors of the Benchlands. The last component, really this is the garnish for our dish, and I think adds a little bit of color if you got them, is pomegranates. Crack open your pomegranate, and then just to clean it underwater. And then what'll tend to happen is that most of the pithy stuff will actually float. The other way I was taught is take a wooden spoon, crack the pomegranate in half, and then put it in the palm of your hand, and then whack the outside part until they all start to fall out.
The match is beautiful. The richness of the dish and the spices bring out the oak spice and the concentration of the fruit, just beautifully matched.
Benchlands always has cedary, tobacco-like flavors, and I thought those spices that we might associate more with pumpkin pie, but that the Mexicans just use a little bit, it just marries really well.
I think also kind of the little bit of smokiness from the charring of the chili pepper also goes well with the toasty smokiness of the wine as well. But the fruit concentration really stands up to the dish, and that's what you're really looking for, is perfect balance and synergy with the dish, and I think you really did well.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it.
Cheers.
Cheers.